let's say talk about all these things. Well, everybody has already spoken about it. I think I'm going to pass it. 100 test matches from Madras, N. Srinivasan sir, so namari chance ledu. Yaar chance ledu. If you ask me next 10 years, any chance? Nobody, as N. Srinivasan sir said very perfectly. 500 wickets, chance ledu. Chance kadadu. Again, as NS said. But Ashwin, day macha, super ra, fantastic. Congratulations, Ashwin. One after the now, day is all over you. Yana need a pain and a day polama, Tadipolama. Took Allah. So, one thing, in all fairness, I love to say, with your permission, Ashwin, and with everybody should know is, Ashwin வந்து 500 test wicket 100 test matches ஆடிருக்கானா அது one man is really been responsible sitting here as the chief guest Mr. N. Srinivasan. I know it for sure because I've been there in the position myself. Our support, the guidance, support and encouragement given by N. Srinivasan sir has been enormous and phenomenal, and from there Ashwin took on and went. What the rest is history, as they say. What an achievement, Ashwin. Fantastic. Well done, sir. NS sir, for identifying such brilliant talent, sir. N. Srinivasan sir, romba thanks. Because it all started the reverse for Ashwin. As the AV said that time itself, I'll clarify to Ashwin also. It is 2010-9-10, his brilliant performance in Chennai Super Kings in the IPL. He is the only guy who had the guts to open the bowling against Adam Gilchrist and Chris Gale. One guy. And one guy who did it was Dhoni, who said, Machan, you take the new ball and bowl and win matches for us. What is the greatest quality in Ashwin? I'm not going to talk about all the records, every achievement, everything is done. What is the greatest quality? Tremendous amount of self-belief. Some self-confidence. Some believe in himself and say, Macha, I can do it. Hey, Chris Gale, cover for Macha, now the ball is Macha, Potlam Madra Macha, and the Mari Port Almacha and Ashwin. Now the ball is solid upon Chris Gale, any good. Chris Gale, Ashwin, Borana, the beginning of the Mujala Bolas, Chris Gale, on the beginning of the Then it was to say in English for people who don't understand, when Chris Gale takes stands, the ball is shudder. When Ashwin comes in the ball, Chris Gale shudders. That's what I'm trying to say. That is Ravi Ashwin and Ashwin. And that is the greatness. So what I like about Ashwin is his ability to take challenges, win matches, and then Ravi Chandran, உங்களுக்கு தான் எல்லா தேங்க்ஸும், சித்ராக்கு தான் எல்லா தேங்க்ஸும். பாவம் இவரும் கூட கோயில் ஆடுவாரு. நான் கோயில பார்த்து பலர் ரவிச்சந்திரன் நின்றுட்டு இருப்பாரு. எதுக்குன்னா ரசிகன் வீடு நின்றுட்டு இருப்பாரு. அம்மா பிரீத்தி, உனக்கு ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ். கவலைப்படாத, உன் கல்யாணத்துக்கே நான் வந்தேன். குழந்தைகளா, God bless you children. ஓகே, பேர்லாம் மறந்துட்டேன், எனக்கு தெரியாது. ஆனா அஸ்வின், நீ போய் கலக்கு, அதே மாதிரி ஆடு, எல்லாம் சொன்ன மாதிரி do whatever you can, do the best. That's it. இதுக்கு மேல நான் வந்து ரொம்ப டெக்னிக்கலா பேசினா போல அடிப்பாங்க. ஏன்னா எல்லாம் பேசினவங்க பெரிய டெக்னிக்கலி புரிய. அந்த ஒரு பால் ஒருத்தருக்கு அனில் கும்ப்ளே நெக்ஸ்ட் எனக்கு அடுத்தது 600 விக்கெட்ஸ். அவன் பிஸ்தா. இந்த சைடுல தான் போர்ட் பிரசிடென்ட்ன்றாங்க இப்போ. அவன் போர்ட் பிரசிடென்ட். வேர்ல்ட் கப் வின்னிங் சாம்பியன், ஹையஸ்ட் விக்கெட் இன் 1980 வேர்ல்ட் கப். பால் சிங்கி சக்க ஸ்விங் பண்ணுவாங்க. என்னோட ரூம்மேட், என் பேர் என்ன கிருஷ்ணசாமின்றாங்க. டேய் ராஜர், who is Krishnasamy da? And Kasi, again I should thank you also for identifying talent through Chennai Super Kings. A lot of people have come through the ranks. Jadeja, Pato, and Marla. Keep encouraging such talent, Kasi. Very well done, Kasi and Chennai Super Kings. Ashwin, keep doing it. That's it. That's all I can say is keep it going. The Barangba, Yanagu and Painu was under Baranga. I don't know any of you have watched my YouTube channel. நீ பாக்குறீங்களா? ஆமா, அஸ்வின் மாமனார் பாக்குறாரம்பா. அது போடுறாங்க. அஸ்வின் ஃபாதர் என்னோட மச்சான சேர்ந்து கிரிக்கெட் ஆடுனாங்கன்னா ஆர்கே கிரவுண்ட் பெரிய ஸ்கூல் ஆக்சுவலா அது சொல்லக்கூடாது, கண்டுக்கிடாதீங்க. அவன் மச்சான தான் படிச்சாங்க சொல்றேன். அவன் என் பையன் அனிருத், இவன் அனிருத் and Ashwin played together from under 16, under 14, everything. அவன் எதுக்கு தர குதிக்க சும்மா அப்படின்னு நான் போட்டு. So he's such a great fan of yours, Ashwin. My son Aniruddha, fantastic. All of us are great fans, Ashwin. You have achieved something phenomenal. As a Tamilian, we are all so proud. As N. Srinivasan sir said, as Tamil Nadu players, 100 test matches la aadna vera level. 500 wickets edukana vera level. Keep it going. இது உனக்கு தான் தெரியும் எவ்வளவு எடுக்க முடியும், என்ன பண்ண முடியாது, ஏது பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு. You are wonder of wonders. Continue doing that. I was really hoping that you will win the World Cup 2023 because you and Kohli would have been the only people to win the two World Cups together. நான் இன்னைக்கு தெளிவா சொல்றேன், அன்னைக்கு சொன்ன டிவியில இன்னைக்கு சொல்றேன், நீ ஃபைனல்ஸ் ஆடுறது நம்ம வின் பண்ணுவோம். நான் சொல்றேன் இன்னைக்கு ஏன்டான்னு சொல்லலாம், என் வாய் அப்படிதான் கண்டுக்காதீங்க. சார் என்ன சார், once again சார், thanks for identifying some brilliant talent. உங்க சிஷ்யம் பாருங்க, with your encouragement, support and guidance, 500, 100, அடுத்தது என்னதுப்பா 600, 125. யானை வருவான் எர்றா. Anyway, all the best Ashwin, all the best Preeti, all the best dear children, good luck, God bless you all, thank you.
Of ICC, former President of BCCI and TNCA. More importantly, for me, as a player, as an administrator, and a part of ICC, I think to many cricketers and to Indian cricket, we all owe a debt of gratitude to you, sir. Recently, I was very happy with the announcement of BCCI rewarding Test cricket and Test cricketers. Well done to you, Raj, and Mr. Jayasha and rest of the team at BCCI. But the beginning of all of that, with the players' contract system, happened thanks to Mr. N. Srinivasan 20 years ago. And one thing that I'd like to say here that I enjoyed, of course, his presence in all the ICC meetings, but he also ensured that I had my curd rice and rasam and papadam in those meetings, wherever it was, whether it was in Barbados or Dubai or anywhere else. To my first captain, Roger Binny, President of BCCI, you've been a beacon for all of us. When I came into the team as a youngster, the kind of discipline that you brought about in our fitness training for Karnataka, and that legacy is certainly continued. Thanks, Roger, and really commendable as the president of BCCI as well. Well done to you. To my big brother, Chika, Krishnamachari Srikant, it's very difficult to follow his batting. I'll try my best. Chika has been a big brother, someone who I interacted with a lot, not just as a player, but as captain as well when he was chairman of the selectors. I distinctly remember when Karnataka played a Tamil Nadu game here in a Buchi Babu game, he scored a double 100 and we had the entire field spread out. We had a deep point, not for his cut, but for his reverse sweep. And if what I heard a young Englishman say, I'm sure he doesn't know who Srikant is. To Dr. Ashok, President of TNCA, Kasi sir, someone who's always there, the first call on cricket or anything with regard to cricket. The one person that you call is Kasi, and he's always there smiling. Thank you for all of that. I'll come to the man of the moment. Family of Ashwin, members of the cricketing fraternity, people who have supported cricketers right throughout. I see a lot of familiar faces here, right from the time that I came here as a 15-year-old to till the time that I retired, and of course, all the time that we came here to watch every match in Chennai. There are very familiar faces here. To all the members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. To Ashwin, what can I say? I had to be prepared when you are talking about Ashwin, so here I go. Where do I start? Let's start with something closer home to myself. Many pundits believe there's a lot of similarity between Ashwin's career and mine. I can't honestly say that isn't true. We have several common threads that unite us. We both put pressure on the batters, not just them, the close-in fielders, the standing umpires, and in Ashwin's case, the non-striker, the third umpire, because of the DRS reviews, and sometimes, on one occasion, I remember, in a TNPL match, he reviewed the DRS review. And that's Ashwin for you. Our family backgrounds and values are similar too. We both have earned engineering degrees and come across as studious and intelligent. I know, Chika. Everybody knows about your engineering. Though at times, appearances can be deceptive. We both also didn't start off aspiring to be spinners. I wanted to be a fast bowler, and Ashwin had his sights set on becoming a top-order batter. But sometimes the elements conspire to thrust us into a journey of great adventure, transporting one to a roller coaster of great highs and shattering lows. And that's how I became a leg spinner and Ashwin an off spinner, a champion one at that. Welcome to the 100 Tests and 500 Wicket Club. Congratulations, Ash, for becoming part of a very special club. It's great to have a fellow Indian spinner in that sphere for company. Maybe these spinners are truly the brainy ones. More seriously though, Ashwin has had as many challenges thrown at him as I did during my career. He hasn't allowed a single one of them to check his progress. In my book, he's right up there with the best to have represented the country in Test cricket. Even though Ashwin may not enjoy using stats as a numerical yardstick, cricket is a numbers game, and his numbers are outstanding when one compares with the best in the sport. These numbers have been further embellished by the role they have played in driving the team to victory. From experience, I can say that there's no fun in stacking up the wickets if it doesn't help the team win. On that count, Ashwin has had overwhelming correlation between his and India's successes. One of the many things about Ashwin that constantly fascinates me is his sheer unwillingness to settle. He has seldom been satisfied with being very good or even excellent. Each day, he wants to be better than the previous one, even if by only a minuscule fraction, and that's the sign of a great learner. He has been an exceptional match winner for the country for more than a decade, and the consistency he has shown, which is a great hallmark, is extremely hard to maintain. That calls for utter and complete dedication to the cause day after day. During the 1 year we worked together closely when I was the Indian coach, his thorough preparation and an in-depth understanding of the players he was up against was a revelation. We traveled to the Caribbean and then hosted matches against New Zealand, England, Bangladesh, and Australia. Against all of those 5 different sides, you could see how he set up different players, what speeds he bowled at, and from what angles he delivered the ball. When someone is doing that, a wicket is just around the corner. It's only a formality. In India, once you have raised the bar to a certain level, it isn't easy to keep performing. Mr. Srinivasan alluded to that. At the level every innings or every match, the expectations are unrealistically high, and anything less than 5 wickets is considered a failure. That's unfair on the player concerned, but Ashwin has managed that really well. In my opinion, he should have played his 100th Test match much earlier. For some reason, he doesn't get picked when India travel outside, and that's something that has always perplexed me. The need for constant improvement and evolution says quite a lot about a bowler, and that's something Ashwin has done over the years. You can see him continue to learn, to go and play domestic cricket. He turns up in a TNPL game, turns up for Tamil Nadu in the Ranji Trophy, plays club cricket, does all those things. That's what we want to see. It's not just about going to that team and showing solidarity, but it's also learning about his own bowling, about evolving, and he's been doing that. One, your domestic team will do very well because you have a quality player coming back into the setup. It not only lifts the team's performance, but also individually, everyone raises their game because you have an international player in your midst. Two, it gives opportunities to try out new things for you as a bowler, as a player, and that's something that you have seen him do constantly. That goes to show that if you are passionate about your skill, you will try to maximize your skills and impact till you play the game. The more you do it, the better you will get. I love his passion and hunger for the game. Beyond his bowling, he adds a lot more value both with his batting and his inputs on the field. Although he hasn't officially been India's captain, he has always been a leader within the group, and that's something he can be proud of. In white ball cricket, Ashwin hasn't been shy of experimenting. He has tried out a lot of different things, including bowling leg spin. Again, that's not surprising at all, given how much belief he has in himself. Sometimes it's important to be just that. People can tell you 100 different things, but at the end of the day, one has to go with one's belief, and Ashwin has always been self-assured, and I'm sure that will continue for long. Every sports person who has played at the highest level, and even those who haven't, will vouch for the fact that the journey would have been infinitely more arduous without the support of the immediate family. An Indian cricketer's life might appear glamorous and enviable from the outside, but the pulls and pressures are immense, and especially these days when the stakes are so high. Ashwin has been fortunate that he has had the unstinted backing of his parents, his wife Preeti, and the two wonderful daughters. It was wonderful of him to dedicate his 500th wicket to his proud father. Congratulations, sir. The family must be really proud of all his achievements. Ashwin has plenty of cricket still left in him, for country, state, and franchise. A little more than 100 to go, Ash. You know what I'm talking about. I shall be rooting for you, and I'm sure you know that too. Congratulations on what has already been a fabulous career. I can't wait to see what the future has in store. Thank you so much.
Truly, truly, truly humbled and grateful. That is all I can start off this particular speech with. I don't generally search for words to express how I feel, but this is one such occasion where I'm truly, truly humbled and very grateful for what this wonderful game has given me. I don't know who to thank. In fact, people sitting in this audience are all people that I know by name. And I'd be failing in my duties if I didn't thank some of them. I could see the love of some people who have come in here and sat just because they want to be here for this occasion. I don't want to start off from names. It could get really complex. This place that we are all, that I'm getting felicitated today, is a very, 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 very special place. And the number of veries don't do justice to what I actually feel about this particular moment. Long time ago, I remember Mr. Kasi Viswanathan, as we are seeing him today, the CEO of CSK, the former secretary of the TNCA. I remember him walking out of one of these old doors here. It's a renovated place right now. In his formals, congratulating me for being selected in the Tamil Nadu cricket team in the under-14s. That really is how long ago all these people were invested and have truly made this journey remarkable for me. When I think back to those days, another man I would be failing in my duties, because today he's an office bearer in the TNCA and someone who has to make decisions and sometimes has to be a bad cop. Mr. R.I. Palani, who's put together this whole event today, and I was studying in PSBB KKNagar and I wanted to shift schools to St. Bede's. A lot of people looking at administrators and office bearers today would think where they have come from. I mean, we'd be thinking where they've come from. This man truly has arrived from the grassroots of this game. Even today, when I look back at his journey, there is something to learn for. What did he do for the cricketers at that grassroots level? And I am one of those cricketers that he truly passed on and touched my life to where I am today. And I can't really tell you that he picked up the ball, picked up the bat for me, told me to do this, but in a way he's touched my life that it's transformed its journey. Because they always tell you one thing: people who teach you are your gurus, but people who teach you harsher lessons are godly to you. And every one of those people sitting here have either taught me something or given me a harsh lesson, and I value every one of those people sitting here. In my opinion, Anil Bhai and Rahul Bhai briefly mentioned that it's very tough to win an argument with me. It's true. It's definitely true. Because I believe argument is one of the greatest pathways to excellence. And for me, argument is never with a person, and it's always with the true learning that comes at the end of it. How can I recall this moment? I would definitely not be able to sleep tonight if I didn't recall this particular instance. In 2008, there was this whole atmosphere and the whole buzz around a T20 tournament that India had launched. And Chennai truly and rightfully had picked up a team which is now $1 billion. Sir, if it's $1 trillion, correct me. But if it's $1 billion company by itself, Chennai Super Kings, as all of you would be dearly cheering for in 10 days' time. That team had launched its first ever attempt to building a squad. And in 2008, I was playing a game between India Cements and Jolly Rovers, Chemplast. I turned up for Chemplast and I picked up 6 wickets that particular day and went back home with a man of the match trophy. But what had ensued was I had given auditions to several teams, tried to make phone calls to understand if there was a talent, and there were no auctions at that point of time. And like I said, people just turn up and push you to the next level. Mr. Krishnamachari Srikanth was the chief guest on that night. He picked up the mic and I said, "Hey Ashwin, paadana, samaya bowling padra, ani eppodume solluvanda, ani ninda best nu solluvanda, yarume illa, kalagana seriya, Chennai Super Kings ku poi pinninno, Muthaiya Muralidharan kitta irundhu ella juicy urinjinno." And I was famished because I wasn't in the team. And then he turned left towards Kasi and said, "Inna Kasi, ediliya?" And that particular line and the fact that Kasi sir was standing at the podium changed my life altogether. I received a contract from Chennai Super Kings the very next day. You just don't know how funny life is. People can push you onto different perimeters and different levels. And 2008, I went into the dressing room, met all the greats, Matthew Hayden, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I mean, I had very little words. I didn't win an argument because I didn't try to have one. But I had sat through 2008, and somewhere in that particular season, I was a no one then. I mean, where am I to play in a team that had Muthaiya Muralidharan? Mr. N. Srinivasan then was an office bearer in the BCCI. If I'm not wrong, sir, you might have been the treasurer or the secretary. I think he was the treasurer. So Mahendra Singh Dhoni was walking back from a press conference, who I wish to thank very deeply. I would be indebted for the rest of my life to Mahendra Singh Dhoni for what he gave me. He gave me an opportunity with a new ball to go head on against Chris Gale, to probably know 17 years later that Anil Bhai would be talking about that particular episode. And I'm truly grateful for that. He was walking back with his usual, people around him. There were a lot of people. I'm not sure Dr. Baba was still hanging around. He might have not been there. He was not the media manager then. He was coming back and I was catching balls that Jacob Oram was tonking from the center of the pitch. I was catching it with the mitt. I'd never seen a baseball mitt till then. So I thought I'll catch it with it. It was really easy than catching it 2 hands. And Mr. Srinivasan out of nowhere jumped out. He was wearing this, I think he was wearing probably one of these overcoats, and he just walked in. He said, MS, that's how he addressed him at that point of time. And he looked at him and he said, there is a boy called Ashwin. He bowls off spin and he is very good for Tamil Nadu. I think you should have a look at him. And he looked at sir and said, "Yes, sir, I will look at him." The conversation ended. But I still very clearly remember that moment and several other moments from there on. He called me in 2013 and said, "They wanted to drop you, But I put my foot down and said, he was the player of the series in the last series. We need to continue with him. If you want, play 2 off spinners. And that was my first game of having played with Harbhajan Singh in this wonderful ground. I played head-on with him in a test match, knowing what it stood for me. And several years later, he recalls every one of those moments. I'm just astonished at the kind of memory he still holds with himself. I would again be failing in my duties if I didn't refer to Anil Bhai at all in this conversation. Several moments we've had when he was the coach of the team. Anil Bhai is one of those interestingly wonderful souls that I've met. He's so insightful, knows the game inside out, completely honest, but yet would never hurt anyone in a conversation. That's one lesson I learned from him, because I'm honest to a point where I can hurt people. And since I met Anil Kumble and worked with Rahul Dravid and worked with Rohit Sharma and several other people, I've understood when you make conversations that you don't necessarily hurt people and you can get on the other side. Life truly is a very enjoyable journey when you come across such wonderful people and learn from them. I'd also like to thank one wonderful person that was my first ever first class team captain, Subramaniam Badrinath, sitting in the front row here. 3 days before, I mentioned to my wife, Balabhai messaged me and congratulated me, Badri did not do it. I'm so sad. Usually he's the first one to do it, but he is present here. That tells me I'm so glad, Badri, that you could make it here. I'm so glad. Balabhai was the first one who told me, Ashwin, you know there have been several good cricketers and I think you're as good as Kapil Dev. This was the year 2006. And he told me the day you pick up a 5-wicket haul and make 100 in a first class game is the day I would truly think you're on the way to playing for India. The game was against Railways here at Chepauk and I picked up 5 in the game and got 100. And Balabhai said, you're not looking back from here onwards. Some wonderful people in this audience. If I've forgotten somebody, please forgive me. Vidyut is sitting here. R. Srinivasan is sitting here, played a lot of cricket with me. Bosky has turned up. I saw him there. Hari, Aparjit, Indrajit, all of them. And Ashwin Krist is here. I think the hallmark of a player coming from a certain state is seeing the cricketers that he's played with and see them turn up for an event like this. Abhinav Mukund is hosting the event that I'm being felicitated at. I think that's a great gesture in itself. Abhi, thank you for doing this. Dinesh Karthik's voice. I'm slowly turning this into a note of thanks. DVR sir is here. Thank you, DVR sir. Paji, thank you for all your efforts through here. Okay, small story before I wind up. A very funny one. I want to finish it on a funny note. A lot of people spoke about how I've tormented left-handers day in and day out. My first tryst with this great batsman that Tamil Nadu produced, Mr. Sridharan Sharath, was sitting in the front row. I picked up the ball. I was playing for Spic. Somebody told me, if you're that good an off-spinner, try and get this guy out. Sharath didn't quite rate me that day. I did get him out at ICL Guru Nanak. He got caught at slip. And I played several more games against Sharath. It's very fair to note he only got beaten, never got out to me again. That's the quality of the batsman that he possessed. That's the kind of batsman he was. And I bowled to Sharath a lot. And hence, I became a far better bowler to left-handers. A lot of coaches are here, my childhood coaches, several other coaches who have passed through my TNCA journey, and managers, rightfully so, Mr. Velu, Mr. Hari, Dr. Baba, who's not been a manager only for the TNC teams. He was a manager in 2014 and 15 season when India was playing in Australia. I went through some tough times again, like Srinivasan sir had pointed out. He was a pillar of support, and I also always cherish it. He always stood by for the game. His wonderful son, and his sons are wonderful cricketers too. I really wish to see Inder go through the journey again this year. But all in all, before I wind up, I would like to say one thing. This place has given me so much that I always keep coming back to TNCA. A lot of people keep asking me, why do you want to go back there? Tomorrow I might not be alive, but my soul will be hanging around this place. That's what this place means to me.